What your job title is, that'd be great.
Are you talking about my job title for the foundation or my job title to earn a living?
Yeah, in the real world.
All right, well, I'm Bruce Wintrobe, and I'm the professor and chair of the Department of Dermatology at the University of California, San Francisco, and vice dean of the School of Medicine at the University of California.
And don't look at me. Just look at y'all, because it'll like,
all right.
Looking at? Great, because we'll use that as a graph.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Sure.
So really what we need to know from you at the start is, what does the Dermatology Foundation do?
Well, the Dermatology Foundation was founded in 1964, initially I think to bring young people into science and dermatology, but I think that the foundation has evolved in its mission since that time. And it does several things, but the major thing it does is it identifies and supports young, serious dermatologists and occasionally scientists in our field who would like to develop either scientific careers, leadership careers, educational careers, or be star master clinicians in our specialty. So we are in the people business. We have a reputation, I think, for many years of being science supporters, but what we're really doing is offering young people a vehicle to express their unique characteristics, their unique focused interests, and begin the development of a serious career in our field.
So why is that important to dermatology? Why is the foundation so important, do you think?
Well, dermatology is about people, it's about patients, and in this case, doctors who happen to be dermatologists. And it's very important, most important of all, to be sure that the field is populated by people who are serious about it in the future and who will keep it advancing and benefiting our patients.
Why do you think the research and continued research is important for the field?
Well, the research is a vehicle by which we develop new knowledge in a variety of areas across the field. And any field that is moving forward and improving and advancing always relies on new knowledge and new information, new ways to improve what it's doing. And research is the basis of that.
Okay. Why did you choose to become a member of the Dermatology Foundation?
I chose to become a member because I believed in what it was doing.
Okay, which is?
What
were the important aspects? I mean, when you think back, you know, doctor, and you made the decision, I'm going to get, involved
Sure.
here. You know, what was your initial thought about it?
Well, first of all, I was asked to be deeply involved. You don't make a decision to get involved in this foundation in the way you might in some organizations. So I was invited to be involved in a very committed way. And when you're invited to do something like that, you give it some thought, because I knew that this was going to take a good deal of my time and energy. And as I thought through what the foundation was doing at the time, and this was in the late 80s, early 90s, it fitted what my interest was and my view of the field. It was an excellent way to pay back to the field what it had given to me. And it was an excellent way to begin to pay forward to the field in a way that would benefit and impact the field. And I believed in people. I believed in what it did. And for that reason, I took the invitation very seriously and became very deeply involved in the foundation. In fact, so deeply involved that I actually decided to participate only in the foundation amongst the many choices in organized dermatology.
Okay. Why do you today, because you talk about you joined in the late 80s, early 90s, you joined and started
The leadership of the foundation.
And getting actively involved. Why still today?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're 30 years out from then. Are you still volunteering so much of your time?
For the same reasons I got involved in the first place. I even more enthusiastically believe in what the foundation has done. You know, as I've gotten to be an older person and accumulated 30 plus years of experience in our field and in this life, I realized that to me, one of the most important things that I could do was to encourage young people to be serious about the field they were entering and to help support their careers. In fact, in my job, my regular job, my real job, that's exactly what I do. And this foundation fits perfectly with my real interest in life.
How?
Because it enables me to help young people come along to develop their careers, to develop new information, and to have a major impact in our field. It allows them to give back to the field more than they took from the field. And to me, that's a pleasure. And it's something that this foundation, in a very unique way, permits and allows us to do as leaders in the foundation.
More so than other organizations in the field of dermatology, you think?
Well, I'm not sure that's a fair question. I think there are many other organizations in dermatology and some very big ones that are very, very important. But what happens in the Dermatology Foundation is that we have a consistency and a breadth and a length of leadership that the other organizations generally don't have. Our leadership hasn't turned over every few years. We have a very consistent group of committed people. And that's one of the things that has allowed us to be successful, I believe. I was lucky to become involved in the foundation, I would say it that way. It's, you know, everybody can join and we want everybody to participate, but to participate in the level that I've been able to participate has been a true privilege. And for the length of time, it's just been an honor and a joy. Well, I think every dermatologist, as they enter the field, or at some point in their time in the field, would hopefully develop a perspective on the value of the field, what was given to them as they both selected the field and were chosen to be in the field. And it's a privilege to be able to take care of patients in the way we take care of patients. It's a privilege to live the kind of lives we have. And I would hope that as people mature and get older, they view what the foundation does as valuable. It allows us, the field, to be sustained. And for that reason, I would hope that every dermatologist would feel that they should give back to this field. Very much give back to this field so that the people who follow us will have the same pleasure, the same rewards, and benefit patients in the same way that we've been able to do.
Can you tell us why you think the Dermatology Foundation has been so successful? You kind of alluded to it earlier, I think.
Well, I think there are a lot of reasons. Number one, I think that the case for what the foundation does is a very compelling case. I think it appeals to the individuals that work in our field. It appeals to the commercial entities that also work in the field and offer new therapies and make new therapies for patients. And I think it appeals to the leadership of the foundation itself, and it allows us to convince our fellows, our colleagues, to give money, give time to this effort, because it is a compelling case. And it also, I've lost my train here, so start the question again.
How about, you know, a compelling case?
Yeah, the compelling case is the case we just talked about. It's appealing to dermatologists to see other individuals come along to be able to do what they do in a very quality way. It's appealing. We all know that we can't do this forever, and we all know that we would like to see good people follow us. And that is, I think, something that's very attractive. It's also compelling to the pharmaceutical industry that surrounds us. They're very interested in career development and seeing that serious individuals enter the field. So those two, that synchronizes very nicely with the mission of the foundation. It's allowed us to call our colleagues on an individual basis, ask for support, and in most cases, get the support. And over time, if we could get to everybody, I'm convinced we could get almost all dermatologists to support us if we could get to them in a very personal way. The other thing that's made the foundation successful is the sustainability of the leadership of the foundation. We do have a constant and a committed group of individuals who work to develop the foundation. The management of the foundation has been consistent. Sandy has been in her job for longer than she'd like to admit. Chris has been with us now for over a decade and has been an extraordinary help to us all. The executive committee members have all been on the foundation or many have been on the foundation for several decades. We have a great new group of people who have come on, and I just think we have a very sustainable organization, very committed organization, and we don't turn over our leadership year to year.
So it's
and it's consistency and focus on what we're trying to do that has made us successful.
Okay. How do you think the work of the Dermatology Foundation has impacted the specialty?
Well, there are numerous ways that we have impacted the specialty. First of all, the people that we've supported over the last 20 years have come on to do new things, to lead the foundation, to be great educators, to develop new information. There's lots of particular ones that are worth discussing. I work every day with he's no longer such a young man, but a fellow in the mid-stage of his career named Jack Resnick, who we funded he was interested in healthcare policy. He had been interested in healthcare policy since college. We have supported almost everybody in our field interested in this area, and Jack is the poster child for this kind of support. But he has done very special work for the field in the area of workforce. He's become an expert in our field in healthcare reform. He's achieved national leadership. He's taught many in the field the intricacies of healthcare reform, what our workforce problems are. It's just been an enormous contribution to see what has happened here. There are other individuals who have developed technology that has helped us to care for human appearance. We've had individuals who have worked in the pathophysiology of diseases such as acne and demonstrated how these diseases occur. We have developed individuals who are now leading the field. They lead the field as chairs of large departments. George Katsarelis, who did much of his work in stem cell, in understanding the role of stem cells and hair growth, is now the chair of the Department of Dermatology at Philadelphia and is emerging as one of the international leaders in our field. So we've seen over that time many people who have contributed back to the field. We've seen new knowledge develop. It's just been a very, very gratifying and successful program.
So to sort of summarize the contribution, the DF.
Yeah, we've supported key people in this field, and the key people develop key new information. They do extraordinary things in leadership. They nucleate a new young group of individuals who will be the future of the field, who are now the future of the field, actually.
Yeah, good. That's what I was looking for. What specific improvements or breakthroughs have come from people being associated with the DF in the field? We know that there's psoriasis. There's different topics that have been addressed.
Well,
through funding.
Yeah,
Is there one that sticks out in your mind?
well, as we talked a few minutes ago, the one that has that one of the ones that I'm actually proudest of is this contribution we've made in health policy.
Why is that important?
Well, this all started in the early 90s when we had the first try at healthcare reform in this country, and it was very apparent to some of us in the foundation that there weren't any people in our field who were really active in policy. And we felt that for the field to be successful going forward, we should have individuals who had a voice, an informed voice in healthcare policy and in change in healthcare in our country. So we at that time developed a program to give career awards to individuals who were interested in this area. And it wasn't easy to do because we didn't have a nucleus of people who could judge the quality of the awards. So we borrowed people from other areas of health policy to help us, and they did. And we funded just about everybody who's active in the field of healthcare policy and who are dermatologists. And so now we have Jack Resnick, we have Sufi Chen, we have many others, and the field now is believable when you walk into say a senator's office and you have informed people who understand what's going on both politically and with respect to policy. When you walk into those who make policy with a dermatologist, they listen to them because they're informed and they've done a serious work in the area. And developing those people has been because of, I think, the foundation nucleating a few of these people, supporting them early in their careers, and making it possible for them to be active in this area.
So you could say then that people who say that.
Yeah, I would say that. We have supported individuals who have made unique scientific contributions to the field, and those things we were doing, but the new things we did, and this is the healthcare policy one, is something that nobody else was doing in the field. I think we saw it first. We got in there first, and we started supporting people in that field. I'm very proud. We should all be proud of what this has done for the field.
So this isn't just for dermatology, but it's for medicine.
Well, it has had a broader impact, but it starts with having dermatologists who know what they're talking about in this area.
Right.
And this has helped patients. It's helped the field, and I think this one, the foundation can take full credit for.
Okay. What gets you up every morning and go into the office?
Well, I've been kind of a funny kind of dermatologist. I like people, and I like to help people solve problems. And in what I've done in my life, really is, as I trained I became a physician in the mid '60s, and I became interested in dermatology in the early '70s, and it afforded me something I enjoyed. I could talk to people. I could actually rapidly solve a problem for a person, and I could develop a relationship with them. So I was able to be a physician. I was able to help a person, and I was able to take care of. I was able to use a visual talent that I have. I'm very good at recognition, and I'm pretty good at communication, and I like therapy. And I just was lucky enough to find this field. My mother never wanted me to be a dermatologist. I was supposed to be a cardiologist for her, but
okay.
She learned to live with me.
Do that at that time.
Why?
What was the feeling you had, about
What?
the organization and what that meant?
Well, first of all, when I was first invited to be a member of the executive committee, one of the conditions was that I would support the foundation financially. At that point, I would be a member of what we call the Leader Society. So I thought about it. I mean, I was a younger man, and and my kids were younger, and money wasn't as easy to come by as it is as I got older. And it made sense to me because I believed in the organization. Over time, my interest and belief continued. My commitment probably got deeper, and I felt that I should contribute both more of my time and more of my financial resources to the foundation. I also didn't see how I could ask anybody else to give substantial amounts of money unless I was doing it. So I give what I can.
So that's what leaders do.
That's what people should be doing who are leading an organization like this. That's right.
That's what leaders do, is they lead.
Mm-hmm.
Why should residents get involved with the foundation?
Well, from the foundation's point of view, we would like residents involved for their entire careers because that gives us more people who are committed to the foundation. It allows them to begin to give back to the specialty. It certainly will make it a lot easier for us to raise funds for the foundation if the commitment begins when they're younger. Why though, from a resident's point of view, should they? Well, it goes back to the things we talked about earlier in our discussion. I think there comes a time, you hope comes a time with our young professionals that they realize what a privilege it is to do what they do. And the earlier that occurs, I think the better it is for the professional and the better it is for the specialty. This gets them giving back to the specialty. And the foundation offers that ability to them very early on. It's very hard for them to access leadership in one of the larger organizations of the specialty, such as the academy, when they're residents. But they actually can begin to participate and give back, even a small amount, when they're residents. They can do that through the foundation. It's the easiest way to start this. Now, the problem always is to get people who are working very hard just to complete this residency, because it's not easy and it takes a lot of time, and it's a very uneasy time in their professional lives to begin to see this. What the foundation has done is to begin to work at the earliest possible point with our people to get them to see the value of the foundation. So why not start when they begin the field?
Give me your sales pitch. I'm a resident.
You're a resident.
Why should I give money to the Dermatology Foundation?
Well, the first thing that you would say to them is, I'd give them the speech on, you are privileged to be a resident and to be trained to do what you're about to do. And as you go through your career, I would hope you will take the point of view that it's very important for you to make sure that the people who follow you can follow you into a good profession. And this is one of the ways to do that. As you enter, you need to think about giving back to this specialty. And I would tell them that as you advance through the specialty, when you look backwards, I hope you'll conclude that you've given more to the specialty than you took from it in these initial 3 years. And also tell them that they should look at their colleagues and realize that the foundation will have funded some of the people they know. And these people will be valuable to them whatever they do in the specialty. And it's easy to show them often in the program I'm in that these people exist. It's not always so easy across the board, but we have people who have been funded by the foundation who are active in our program right now. So in my world, it's actually pretty easy to sell, because they see people who are being supported by the foundation, who they like, who they relate to, and they see the faculty giving back to the foundation, and they see me talking about it all the time. So I live in a little rarefied world around this thing,
Yeah.
but it works very well.
You have a lot of mentor.
Yeah. Most of the people who enter the field eventually come to that realization, come to the realization about what a privilege it is to be in this field. One, what a privilege it is to be a doctor. Two, to be in this field as a doctor is just a real joy.
Why is it such a privilege to be a dermatologist?
Well, it's a privilege just because, well, we have all the same things that being a doctor gives you, right? We can help people. If you like to work with people, you get to do it all the time. You really get deeply involved in their lives occasionally. Dermatology has all that. But in addition, it has a manageable life to it. You can do it without it completely taking over your entire life, and you can be extremely serious about it. But you can live a whole life in dermatology, and it's one of the few areas in medicine that really permits that. You run into colleagues who are happy in what they're doing. I've never run into an unhappy dermatologist in my life. They're always happy.
That's